Now, there's only two ways you can cook calamari, either very quickly on a grill, or the other way is slow cooked. Anything in between will produce a really rubbery result, so we don't want that. I've just been preheating a grill and we're going to add some flavour to this gorgeous squid. Now, these are the hoods of the squid. I've cleaned them up. I've removed the insides, the squid ink, and I've kept the tentacles. You know what? I think the tentacles taste even better than the hood. They stay so tender and they go really crispy on the outside. And these are the squid wings that are attached to the hood. Again, a very tender part of the squid. Now, squid calamari, it's the same thing. We call it squid when it's raw, and when it's cooked, turns into calamari. So let's add some flavour to this squid. Lemon zest. Don't add the lemon juice at this stage. What will happen is it'll start to cook our squid, and we don't want that. We just want the perfume and the essence of this citrus. You can also add some lime to this, is really lovely. Some salt. Good pinch of salt. It's also going to help with the crust, and a good glug of olive oil. I like to oil my squid before I add it to the grill, and some pepper, good cracker pepper. And that's it. I'm not adding any more flavours to it. Now give it a really good mix. I'll be cooking this whole and we'll chop it up later on. So onto my grill, we'll add the hoods first because they take the longest. Nice sizzle is what we're looking for. And then we'll add our very long tentacles. Don't worry, we will be chopping them up later. And then our little wings can go on too. Now, we'll just place the grill down. The beautiful thing about this is it's going to char grill on the bottom and the top, so we don't need to turn it whatsoever throughout the cooking process. Now, while that's cooking, which is not going to take long at all, let's make a beautiful mayonnaise to go with it. In a bowl, I'll add some miso. Miso is a great ingredient to have in your fridge, and it's really nice with mayonnaise. This is a shiro miso, so it's light, it's not too salty. You can use dark, but if you're going to use dark, use half of it, because it can be a little bit overpowering. Now, before I add the mayonnaise, I have some pickled ginger. You can get this from all your supermarkets now. I'll add a little bit of the pickling agent that comes in the jar. So much flavour in that. It's just vinegar and sugar. We'll whisk that just to break up that miso and just smooth it out. Fabulous. Now I'll grab a nice handful of our pickled ginger, just reserving a little bit for the garnish later on. And I'll finely chop it, and you may look at this and go, whoa, that is a lot of ginger that you're using, but because it's pickled, it has a sweet flavour. It's thinly chopped too, so it's quite mild. And you'll know this ginger if you've ever gone to a Japanese restaurant. It's always served after the meal. All right, in it goes. Now we'll add our mayonnaise, so a generous amount of whole egg mayonnaise. Don't use a sweet mayonnaise for this. Now I'll give that a really good mix. That's good. And now I'll have a little taste. Oh, you've got to try that mayonnaise. So delicious with the miso and that ginger in it. All right, that's going to take just a few minutes to flash fry, and then we can bring the whole thing together. Okay, this is cooked. I can smell it. It's popping, it's sizzling, it's perfect. And look at those char marks. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll take the hoods off. We'll place it on a chopping board along with our tentacles and wings. Now you can cut it into that classic calamari ring. With the other hood, I might cut it on an angle. I just want to make it look quite rustic for this recipe. And then these gorgeous little wings, they're so tender, I'm going to cut them in half. And then for the tentacles, my favourite part, I'll cut them in half. And then because they're very long, just to make sure it's easier to eat, just cut them in half again. Now I like to dress this one more time with just a drizzle of olive oil, just so they become quite glossy. And this is the stage where I add some of the lemon juice. So I'll cut a little cheek off and then squeeze that on so we get a fresh flavour of that lemon juice. All right, to plate this up, I'll add a generous amount of our gorgeous miso and ginger mayonnaise to the centre of a bowl. Maybe 3 tablespoons. You don't want to overdress this, so that is plenty. We want a thin film of it on the base of our shallow bowl. Then I'll add a generous amount of our calamari. This is definitely a dish for sharing. Pop it in the middle of the table so everyone can have a taste of it. And then I'll get a few more of those little wings and just keep piling it up just to really show off that prize calamari that's char-grilled. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. Now to finish it off, mint, just for some freshness, a few little sprigs, and we'll just pop that over the top, just letting them fall down. And I love that taste of that pickled ginger, so I'm just going to add just a few more pieces, just for that pop of colour, that gorgeous pink coming through. And for some crunch, toasted sesame seeds over the top. I like to put quite a lot. There you have it. Now I've been waiting for this moment. I'm just going to take a little tentacle and dip it in this sauce. That is so good. Crispy on the outside, super tender, exactly the way calamari should be. Put it with that creamy mayonnaise, that is heaven right there.